Hello everyone, welcome back. It's 2.3, solve equations with variables and constants on both sides. This section has three objectives: solve equations with constants on both sides, with variables on both sides, with variables and constants on both sides. So we're looking at these three scenarios. Let's start with the first one. Solve 7x plus 8 equals negative 13. So the question does not explicitly state that there are constants on both sides or variables on both sides. It will simply say solve. It is up to us to use the correct technique. Now, always remember we need to isolate x. Okay? And if you have multiple places where you see x, then you need to combine the like terms. Okay? So I would say the very first step would be to combine like terms on both sides. So let's say combine like terms. If this step does not apply to you, to your problem, you will skip this step. Like in our case, excuse me, we have no like terms to combine on the left nor on the right. So this step we will skip, which means we will go to the next step, which is to isolate x, the variable. So to do that, we need to get rid of the 8 first, okay? Now don't think we need to get x by itself means to first handle the 7. No, you need to clean up all that is around the x and then come to the ones that are attached to the x. So our first move is to get rid of the 8, because you can see that systematically that is how, you know, to solve any problem, even in real life, you need to solve the other things that are surrounding it, so that, you know, with those removed, you have access to the actual problem. That's the same idea here. So I cancel this off, and now I have 7x equals, we have two negatives, and we need to add the two numbers. So you get 21 and take the common sign. Now we are ready to handle the 7. 7 is multiplied to the x, so think opposite of multiplication, that's division. Okay, that's one way to see it. Also, intuitively, you have a 7 on the top that's being multiplied to the x. So to cancel it off, you need a 7 in the bottom so that they would cross-cancel. And what you do on one side, you also do on the other side. And you notice that 7 also divides the other side. 7 times 1 is 7, 7 times 3 is 21. So this gives us x equals negative 3. As always, we will check our solution. Let's do that. And that's again done only in the original equation, the equation that we did not tamper with. And so we have 7, plug in for x, draw the shell, 8, negative 13. Plug in the answer we just got, put a question mark there. Okay, 7 times negative 3, negative 21, plus 8 equals, with a question mark, negative 13. All right, combine these two. You'll have to subtract the two numbers and take the sign of the larger number, which is the subtraction. 21 minus 8 is 13. The sign of the larger number is negative. Negative 13 equals negative 13. Got the answer. It's a true statement. Negative 13 must only equal negative 13. So we come back here and we conclude that this negative 3 is indeed the answer by boxing it. All right. Just to avoid the video being too long, I will just work on one problem per objective. Remember, this is an overview, so we are not trying to completely do the lecture. So just watching this is not sufficient. This is a supplement to your own learning. And of course, you have to do a number of exercises as well. Okay. All right, we move to the next objective, which is to solve equations with variables on both sides. And here comes the problem. Solve 9x equals 8x minus 6. Okay. In this problem, we have to start with the initial step, which is to combine like terms. So, well, in this case, I do not have like terms on the same side of the equation, but I do see like terms on either sides. So, for instance, your x, you have a 9x on the left and 8x on the right. In order to isolate x, you need to have only one x. You can't have two x's there, right? So we need to combine the like terms, but we're going to go across the equal sign. So let me write the question one more time. And I want to bring all the x's on one side. So I want to subtract 8x on both sides. Okay. That will help us to bring all the x's on one side. 9x minus 8x is 1x. We simply write it as x equals -6. Actually, we got the answer instantly. And we are supposed to check this answer. Check. 9x equals 8x minus 6. 9 and a shell for the x. 8 and a shell for the other x, 6. Now plug in the values. -6, put a question mark, -6. Okay, let's work on the left side. 9 times -6, -54 equals, put a question mark. 8 times -6 is -48 minus 6. -54 equals -48, -6. Add the numbers, you get 54. Take the common sign, which is negative, and this is a true statement. This implies x equals -6. That's our answer, box it. Okay. You could have any variable for this matter, so you will have to simply remember that you have to combine all the like terms, either on the same side of the equation or on one side or across the equation. We move to the third objective, which is to solve equations with variables and constants on both sides. Solve 7x plus 5 equals 6x plus 2. So as always, combine like terms. We do not have like terms on the same side of the equation, right? We do have like terms across the equation. So we will do 7x plus 5 equals 6x plus 2. And I would like to bring the x's on the left. I just prefer the left. You could always bring them on the right as well, but in this case, it works better on the left because I can anticipate the x to be a positive number. So I like that way. So -6x, -6x on both sides. That goes away, but 7x minus 6x is an x. Carry down what's left over on the left side. So we can only combine the like terms. That's why I put the 6x under the 7x. You can't put it under the 5 and do 5 minus 6. That's not possible because they are not like terms. They do not look alike. So we got the left side simplified. And on the right, we only have the 2. Now we have one more step to combine like terms where we will get the numbers on the right side because you want your x isolated. Okay, so I will say isolate x. X plus 5 equals 2. To isolate x, I need to get rid of the 5. To get rid of it, I have to do -5. This cancels off, leaving us with x on the left. 2 minus 5 is, you have to subtract the numbers and take the sign of the larger number. So that's -3. Quick check. So we have 7x plus 5 equals 6x plus 2. Okay, let's plug this in. So 7 and a shell plus 5 equals 6 shell plus 2. -3, question mark, -3. Okay, that's -21 plus 5 equals, question mark, -18 plus 2. Okay. So I've got to subtract the two numbers. I have 16 with the sign of the larger number equals 16 with the sign of the larger number. It's a true statement. This means x equals -3 is the answer. Thank you, class, for watching this. I will see you in the next video.